Hi viewers, welcome to Majesty Christian Television Network. My name is Apostle Helen Udokeno, and I'm sitting here flanked with so many participants who are going to discuss on a topic we think is very, very crucial. Do you know anything about healthy lifestyle? Do you know that what is invoked now is healthy lifestyle? Many people go about talking about healthy lifestyle, but they don't really know what it is. So today in the studio, we have participants who know something about healthy lifestyle, who are going to lead us into going deeper as to what we must know and how to consider what healthy lifestyle is all about. So the expected result is that this event may help create a deeper, healthy lifestyle consciousness from the grassroots level with our community. So the health professional on the panel today, Mr. Oscar Hulscher of AAGG. AAGG is from the Gemeente, isn't it?
It's the health department.
The health department, of Amsterdam municipality.
Yes.
Right. So he is in this panel, and then he is going to help us throw more light on what we're supposed to know and how it's going to help the citizens of Amsterdam Southeast. We also have other Amsterdammers who are here as panelists to join on this discussion. So from my right, I have Miss Regina Buckle. Say hello to our viewers, please.
Hello.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so are you excited? We're going to talk about healthy lifestyle?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got enough to give out to them?
Yes.
All right, so, and from the back behind there, you could see Auntie Regina, Miss Rejoice Dose, always happy, and all of you already know her. She's a regular panelist of Majesty TV. Say hello to them, please.
Hello, viewers.
Are you excited?
Yes.
I think you have something to offer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we have Mr. Richard Dodo too. So say hello to our viewers, please.
Hello, everyone.
Tell us a bit of who you are. You know, you were saying something.
I'm just one of the young men in the community, so very active.
And not only that, tell us a bit about your profession.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, in blunt words, I'm a business developer.
Okay.
So that's just.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being with us. And then we have Mr. Oscar Hulscher. Oscar, please say hello to our viewers.
Hello.
He's very brave. Say something more. Oscar is always in the process of teaching.
Well, yeah, I'm always
trying to let people know.
I'm always trying to help. Yes.
Thank you for being with us today. All right, so those of you who are watching us from outside, you can join the studio and join the discussion by also Facebook. Watch us on Facebook Live now, or you can also send some of your contributions on our WhatsApp line, which is +316260464432. And in case you have questions to ask, or you just want your voice to be heard, please feel free to call the studio line, which is the +3120 Our studio lines are very, very open. Please feel very free to call us and make your voice to be known. So we are setting up now. The topic is practical perspective on healthy lifestyle assisted by professional. Yes?
Yes.
Now, you are the professional. And what are we?
Professionals.
You are, yes. I think we have all experience with healthy lifestyle. So that makes everybody that is here an expert on healthy lifestyle in his own way.
Yeah, okay. So now would you look into the camera and speak to the our viewers? Tell us, every one of us, we are excited to know, what do we mean when we say practical perspective on healthy lifestyle?
All right. Basically, you asked me to come here and talk a little bit about healthy lifestyle, but not on a very theoretical level,
yes,
but on the practical side. So how do you do it?
Yes.
And I think that speaks. I think that's really interesting.
Yes.
And if shall I talk a
Yes.
little bit?
Yes.
All right. So basically, when you talk about healthy lifestyle, it isn't. It's really, you need to know that it's not only about, for example, food or exercise. Healthy lifestyle is way broader than that. That's why we use a model that's called positive health. We use different models, but this one is particularly for the practical side really interesting, which is a broad model. So it's not only about your physical well-being, which is the food part and sleeping well and exercise, but it's also tackling your mental well-being, for example. And by that I mean, are you stressed, or do you feel anxious, or do you feel really relaxed? So this is the mental part. You have the social part as well, which is, do you have a network? Do you have meaningful relations with others, which is quite important. And what is interesting, there's several more. I think Larry's going to show them, right? And what is interesting is that they all combine together and they are interrelated. So, for example, example of my own, and maybe you recognize that.
Yeah.
When I'm tired, or I have a stressful day at work and I come home, most of the time I feel like I'm entitled to a piece of chocolate. I really want it.
Okay.
So this is how the mental well-being, whereas I had a really heavy day at work, is connected with my physical.
Okay.
Like I'm eating something a little bit unhealthy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is how you can see, for example, when I feel very, very alone. For example, I feel like I don't have enough friends. I'm feeling very, very lonely. This is something in a social aspect, but it's also influencing my mental, because I can be stressed about it or a little bit down about it. And when I'm socially active and I'm having a lot of friends and a lot of fun, this is to my mental health also very positive. And can be, so you need to know that they are interrelated with each other and they influence on each other. So maybe what you can do with the model is you can score yourself on the different parts of health, and then you can see, so you see a number from 0 to 10, and you can do that for each, so you can do that for mental well-being, or for example, physical well-being, physical functions, and you can score yourself on that, on those lines where you think you are 10, you're perfect. You feel like I've everything. When you're 0, you don't know anything about it, or you don't feel you are really capable of having this part of your health. So you can score, and then you make a little bit. You draw a line between the dots you place on the lines. And then you have a map of how you feel you are doing in terms of health. And then you can see where you need. So maybe for example, I really need to improve on my mental health, because I'm really busy at work most of the time, and I do not take a proper break.
Oh, okay.
I don't sit and reflect, for example. But and maybe I think everybody has something like that.
We all have our moments, that's for sure.
Right, right.
Yeah,
we do.
which is not healthy.
Right. So that's how you can score, and then you make a plan about this, and you make a plan about how you would like to improve. But maybe you would like to share a little bit about what do you encounter in your own life, in challenges in your own life, but also connected to the children in your surroundings, for example. How do you give a proper example for this?
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you go
take-
on. Yeah.
I think what I'm hearing from Oscar is the fact that you first need to reflect on yourself,
Right.
and then you understand what it is that you're doing, which you can improve on, so that you can practically lead a healthy life.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now, if I translate that to myself,
Mhm.
I can say that I know my moments when I realize that, damn, I'm just looking for something junky to eat.
Right. For example.
You know,
Yeah.
I know very well that it's not healthy, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah,
But
it's true.
something in me pushes me to want to do that.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think that is what you're referring to as the mental or emotional kind of thingy.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I haven't been able to figure out what it is for me yet. So it's good to know you have. Maybe what's important is me understanding when I feel like that, what is actually going on with me emotionally
Yes.
to enable me, or rather to push me to feel that way. Once I understand that, maybe I can deal with it. So it's good, as in, is a good awareness for me now to realize that, okay, so when these moments come, actually it's because of,
Exactly.
you get, so it's
Exactly,
good.
yeah.
But practical things that I also try to do for myself is understanding the importance of water.
All right.
I noticed that over the years I've drank very little water because I was more into juices and things
Right.
like that. And
Yeah.
frankly, I don't think the body only needs juices. I think water is quite
Yeah.
important to the body as well. I've come to understand that. So I'm also incorporating that with my behavior as in things I put into myself. And
Alright.
so far it's doing very well. I do my push-ups in the morning, so
So how did you manage to make that? How did you realize that? Was there a certain moment that you said that triggered you?
I think I look at my surroundings, people around me. I see
Them doing
the
something.
type of challenges they are having. And knock on wood, I have been blessed in many ways than one. Because I've lived here in the Netherlands for some time now, I've never been to the hospital.
Wow.
I don't have a hospital card, for example. That in itself says a lot,
Wow.
you
Awesome.
know.
Yes.
But that's based on how I choose to lead
to live.
my life. And, you know, I stay away from things that are not good for me. And
For example, give
Yeah.
us a
Practical
practical
example.
example
Like
of
what?
what you stay away
well,
from.
maybe this may sound like a cliche, but I'll
No,
say
say
it.
it.
At the end of the day, I feel like I am too monkish. When I say monkish, it's because I eat I eat a lot of bananas.
Oh, okay.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You see this body here, the
Yeah.
type of bananas I consume, you would not believe it. That's why I say monkish.
Oh, okay.
So for me, I think banana does it for me.
Oh, okay. Really?
It does a lot for me.
Okay.
And it's
Awesome.
kept
That's
me,
good.
you know the saying, an apple a day keeps you away from the doctor?
Doctor,
Yeah.
For me, it's a banana a day keeps me away from the
Too much banana
Banana
also
is
is
part
not
of
good.
it.
You
Yeah.
said too much banana also is not
You
good.
see, you realize that you're saying that, but that doesn't work with me.
Yo,
You get my point?
yeah.
So this
You
is
must
some-
realize
some
what
things.
works for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, in general, you would say that's actually a good point. You need to say that a balanced diet is very important.
Yeah.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
on a personal level, you can only see what works for you the best, where you get the
Exactly.
most energy.
Exactly.
But you need to always, and I think I like that about your stories too, that you reflect on your own health and see what works for me.
Yeah.
How can I actively improve that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what about you, ladies? I
Yeah,
saw you nodding, and so you agreed, or do
Yeah.
you recognize it?
Yeah, because most of the time, sometimes you are tired. Just as you said it, you are tired of what am I going to eat now? I'm tired. Am I going to cook now with a long process or something? Then you feel like taking something. But me, most of the time, if I come back like that or I'm home like that, I like green tea.
Green
All
tea.
right. Green tea.
Yeah. That's because I stopped taking the sugar because I feel the sugar is not okay for me again because of my weight and my own health health too. So I have to avoid sugar and all those. So I prefer the herbal tea. So I like the green tea mostly. So if I'm back home, first thing I do, I go in for my green tea.
It's great.
and I take a lot of water too.
Yes.
So the day I couldn't take the water, so most of the time the tea. Most of the time, so if my friends come to me, they don't get the blacks, though I have the black teas, but most of the time the green tea is over.
All right. So,
Yeah.
but you said the green tea and the water helps you
Yeah.
Yeah.
with staying healthy.
Yeah, and the food too, and the food wise, I know what I take.
All
You know,
right.
yeah, because most of the time especially we the Africans, like with our fufu, our banku, and all those things, sometimes we take a lot. You know,
Right.
one person sit down and eat bam. You know,
I like
so
the bam.
yeah.
We all do.
But you know, sometimes.
So, but you reduce. So when you want to take it, not that you avoid it. We
Yeah.
take it. I take it, but you take a little.
Right.
You take, instead of eating big at once, then you take a little. Because if you take a lot at once, you get bloated, or you are too full. Then there's no space for, because I learned that all the time, anytime you eat, you leave a space.
Mhm.
You leave a space, so don't overeat to fill the whole stomach up. You have to leave a space.
All right. So where does that come from? That like the meals are like really heavy.
Yeah.
So are you saying that is the meal? That is why all the African women are big?
Most of the time.
Is it because of the meal, or is
You
it
know,
just
they
because of
eat
the
late
structure?
too. Most
Is it
of the
because
time
of the
we eat-
meal, or is it just because of the structure? Because when you are studying psychology and sociology, and then you begin to talk about this species of the Caucasians and the Africans and the Indians, they have different
Yeah.
contours and all of that thing, and that's the way they be shaped that way, you know.
Yeah.
So when you see a Caucasian, you will quickly know that they have silky hair, they are
Yeah.
slank, so
Yeah.
and you know, flat front and flat back. But the African woman has contours, the way
Yeah.
they are being protruded. So
No, the bodybuilding.
is it because of the food we eat?
No. God created us in different ways, but we can still maintain our
Because
weight.
when you look at three of us now here,
No.
the three of us who are here, we are big. Then is it because of the food?
No.
Because most of the time I don't even have time to eat.
No, not
Can
because
I comment on it?
not only because of the food, because most of the time to like maybe look at Starijana, she's tall.
Oh, yes,
You know,
I'm big.
She's tall and thick.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the way, but she maintains her posture. She maintains the body weight that she will not overgrow, because the more you put in, the more you explode.
Because I've seen some ladies who are very
No.
tiny, very
Yeah,
tiny.
very tiny,
But if
but-
you see what they eat,
Yeah.
if you see what they
They
eat,
eat a lot,
they
but
eat a
that
lot,
is just
and yet
their-
they are still away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it depends on your body type, how you
Yeah.
react to food.
Yeah.
And this is actually quite interesting, because a lot of how you react to food and exercise, for example, is what we found out is already planned during the early years. So a lot you can do and win a lot in this first period of your life. For example, the health of the parents when they conceive the baby
Yeah.
is actually very important for the health of the child.
Yeah.
And this period of time when the mother is pregnant, this is the time when the life of the baby is formed. So the body is formed. So everything you put in your body then, which is healthy, for example, like water instead of soda,
Yeah.
for example, and you walk a little bit and everything, you exercise just your body, then the child's body will grow into have a healthy blueprint. For
Yeah.
example, his reaction to food and exercise will be in a good way.
Yeah.
And this extends to like 2 years after birth, and this is where your blueprint of your child is made. So when you do it right in this first period of time,
Yeah.
your child will be blessed with
Yeah.
like chances of easier health,
Yeah.
sustaining easier the healthy lifestyle. which is no guarantee, obviously, but you can do a lot for your child in this first period of time. And a lot has to do with those areas I already put out on the positive health. So it's bodily functions, like for example, taking water or exercise or a healthy food, not too heavy, for example. But also on the mental part, like having a well-balanced mental health, so not too much stress, all those types of things, which is very important. And even feeding the baby when you're breastfeeding, for example. We used to do that like this, and you make contact with your baby, which is very important for the bonding with your baby, for the social health.
Yes, yes.
And what you see now happening, because we have all cell phones, is this: feeding the baby and
Looking at the phone.
interacting with your phone.
Yeah.
Which what you lose is the connection with your baby. So those things they happen because the environment changes and the context changes, and we get cell phones and we get cars and we get elevators, and we lost sight of, for example,
The basics.
the basics.
Basics,
Exactly, the basics. And we for the most things we know the basics, right? Because our parents used to do them,
Yes.
and they did it automatically. They worked on the land physically for the most part, so they got their exercise. But we need to choose, because we have elevators, cars, we sit in an office, some people don't because they have physical work, but a lot of people need to an actual decision to go and exercise.
Exactly.
And this is something because of the environment and the things that change. So we need to conscious about this. Things
Yes.
change.
Yeah.
And the basics are actually not that bad.
Sure.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, also, I like to drink early in the morning when I wake up. I think I drink more warm water,
Mhm.
maybe 4 liters a day, and green tea. You know, the time also is about our food. When you eat late, like me, I don't eat up to 5 o'clock. From
Right.
6 going, I don't eat again. So we have to control about our food. Like my brother like banana. I don't eat too much banana because it make me fat.
All right.
And maybe about, I can say more than 11 years now, I don't eat meat.
Okay.
Because
That's
meat
okay.
also can make get weight. So I don't eat meat. But in our food, when we cook, if you see the meat they put on it, also, it's also not good. So we have to control everything. It's about our food. Not to eat in the night, late.
Right.
Some people can eat 12 o'clock,
Okay.
Yeah, 12 o'clock. And also it's not good. We have to drink more water. And juice also, I don't drink juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So
The
that,
sugar things.
yeah, so things, I don't also eat sugar. So we have to be careful.
So
Yeah.
how did you realize that you
Need to take
don't
these
need
actions.
to take out, for example, the meat out of your diet? How did you figure that out?
I watch also on the television.
All right.
Yeah,
So you saw a program and then
Yeah.
you realized.
yeah. So let me stop meat. Yeah.
All right. And how did it go for the bananas and the water and everything? Did it the same way or?
Yeah, I don't eat too much banana. I drink more water. So, you know, every time, I think every 3 months, I have to go to doctor to check my pressure
Wow.
and cholesterol and everything. The
Mhm.
doctor tell me with my age, I'm very good. It's very perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. And because a lot of the times I have tried, for example, I've tried 2 things because I work in healthy lifestyle. So I thought, well, I can tell people what to do, but I need to experience it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I was living quite unhealthy. I exercised, and I thought, well, this is it. But then I realized there's all those different aspects of a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
I thought, oh, oops, I'm not doing a very good job. But I've done different things. For example, I have cut out my sodas, which was quite easy for me. I just told myself I do it like during the week I don't, and during the weekend I'm allowed to have like 1 or 2 sodas a day. And then at a certain point, I just quit it all altogether. But now, for this mental health, for example, I tried. I really did. I started just for like 2 minutes a day on my job during my break, just breathing, like just watch my breath and then just sitting down, eyes closed, try not to really think about something, and relax. But that didn't work. I'm not doing it. So this comes to me like, how do you make it work? Do you have examples of that? How did you manage to change it? You saw it on the television, but that doesn't mean for most people that you can actually change it. So did you have some way to how you did it?
I would simply say that ultimately you need to ask yourself, how do you want to see your life moving forward? Do you want to end up going to hospitals, checking on X, Y, or Z, being worried about what medications to take and what have you? Because people around you, most of them always end up, in the hospitals, and they're sick of this and sick of that. And when you've seen that, you ask yourself, how do I prevent myself from going down this road? When you start with that self-evaluation, it changes a lot of things. And to my dear sister, there is no monkey that is obese.
No, but
which means bananas are very good.
Well, let's get into that because that's different for different people. But what I take away from your story is that you say, well, you need some self-reflection and actually say, well, what do I want?
Yeah.
And basically what you said was your surroundings triggered you.
Yeah.
Right.
And you said, I want to change some.
Yeah, I don't want to end up like this.
All right. So you had this is your motivation.
Correct.
If I may,
If
I may ask him something, you are emphasizing much on the banana, which is very good, right? But healthy lifestyle is not just only about what you eat.
I totally
So
agree.
what about the mental side that Oscar has been trying to dive into?
Right.
Like your network.
Right.
Your network, the people that are in your network.
Yeah.
Do they promote to you? Did they make you to have the healthy lifestyle, or there are people who make you anxious all the time? Because there are some networks that are too competitive and they have become too envious, that you don't really know whether you can function there. Anytime you log in, you see that you are getting negative energy because of the sort of things people are posting and all of those things, so how do you deal with that? Secondly, many people who have left Africa and they come here, they still have responsibility of taking care of people in Africa, and that gives us stress. So stress is not a good sign for mental
well-being. Yeah.
Yes. So how do you handle that? Because people from Africa will always want to ask you for support in one way or the other. So, and because we do not always have it, you are being stressed up.
Right.
You are being stressed up, okay? So, some of the people you see going to the hospital wouldn't really want to go to the hospital, and they didn't go about signing any paper for sickness to come. So, how come that you have really not been going to hospital, and with the whole stress piling up from Africa, so is it that you are living a life alone or what? I just want to know.
Well, no. I think one of the things that I can throw light on is how my mom literally raised me.
Okay.
One thing I learned at a very early age is that too many friends is a sign of weakness. So I have come to understand that whatever my network is, it should be a network of people that are not filling up a stadium, let me just put it in blunt terms. So not too many people. And the people themselves also have to be very quality-oriented people, so that these are not people who are drawing me down, but rather people who are helping me uplift myself. So that in itself gave me, if I meet somebody and I need to connect with that person, I'm asking myself, what do I gain from this? What is my takeaway from this? If it's nothing positive, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah.
So by not wasting my time, I don't buy the stress for myself. So that is one aspect of how I've lived my life till now. Then when I come to what we're talking about with regards to, you know, we have to take care of people back
in Africa.
In Africa. I've done that for the 20-something odd years I'm here. Do you get it? And I'm supporting like 5 people that are part of my family tree, and I'm just helping most of them do either school, vocation, you name it. I contribute where I can, but I don't overstretch myself. So if I can't do it, I'm the first person to tell you, sorry, I'll not be able to help you with this, find somebody else. You get it? I'm not afraid to say things the way they are. Let me just be blunt on that. So however the color is, if I'm broke, I'm broke. I'll tell you, hey, I'm broke today, I can't help you, or I'm broke. I'm busy with this bill or that bill. I'll tell you as it is. I'm not going to pretend like everything is dilly-dally and force myself behind the scenes just to satisfy somebody else. So I wouldn't do that. So there are ways of understanding, and these are all mindsets.
Yeah.
If you're able to switch that mindset properly, you would end up not having this level of stress that will send you to the doctor. So that is just my take on it.
Is it for people in the community, it's hard to say no and to be honest about, well, you need to pay bills or...
A lot of people would rather not make you aware of, you know, the fact that they are challenged here or they are challenged there.
All right.
So that means that you would have to be pretending. And it is the reality of most migrants.
Because
especially
even when you say no, they will not believe you.
Exactly.
So they won't believe you if you tell them, well, I don't have the money right now.
Yeah, they won't believe.
All right.
And people also want to lift themselves up. They don't have, but they want to be seen.
And they will tell you why things is not going all right with you. Why Holland is not good? Why are you staying here, living here? Then better you have to come there.
Yeah.
Why are you staying here?
Yeah.
So if you don't have the money,
You have to
why don't you come back?
You come back to live
Because
there.
there's no use staying
You
there.
say here
There's
is
no
not
money.
good. Yeah.
So they feel you are lying, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
And most of the time, when you have to stand strong and tell them, look, I don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have
Exactly.
it. So me, if you call, you'll be calling and saying everything. I don't care. I will tell you I don't have it. If you don't believe it, you can please yourself.
Exactly.
Whether it's two things. What I say, if you believe it, you take it. If you don't believe it, you please yourself. It's the same thing like friends around you. Whatever you say or whatever they ask you, you tell them, you know it's the truth you are telling them, and they choose not to believe you. They can please themselves. I don't care.
All right.
It's a
So
mindset.
that's because I'm not bringing that stress
It
upon
is.
me.
Yeah.
No.
Because the stress, what I realized, once I came here, I became sick with a lot of things. So I have to go through operations and all those things. And my blood pressure was really high.
All right.
That is why I decided to change a whole lifestyle, to change a lot of things. And this time I don't take any medication.
Very good.
All right.
Yeah.
So what did you change?
My food, my thinking, because one thing too, I'm a Christian, I go to church, and if I know that there's something wants to bother me, I go on my knees and pray to my God. Then I have my peace of mind, because in the Bible He told me that He will give me the peace that the world can never give me, or friends cannot give me that peace. It is only Him. So if I focus on Him and pray to Him, I have my peace.
Right. So you used the prayer as a way to calm yourself mentally.
Yeah.
What else?
And you focus on yourself to find out what makes me happy. What do I enjoy doing? If you love singing, you put on your CD or your radio or your whatever you have, and play your music and sing and dance in your room and make yourself happy. Yeah.
So how do you then deal with the issue of anxiety? How do you deal with the issue of anxiety, the uncertainties?
Yeah.
Like when you do not have job, and then you know that your bills are piling.
Yeah.
You see, and then very soon, the rush dial will come, and they want to inject you out, and all of those So I mean, these are practical issues. How do you deal with them? How do you get along? How do you overcome things like that is able to stress you out?
I think that to talk about anxiety, there are various things that can put you in that state of mind. But you also have to ask yourself, something you can't change or you can't effect change to, you should not be worried about it. That's how I look at it. There's nothing you can do about it. The bill is the bill. That's what it is. If you don't have it, be honest about it. I don't have it. Give me X amount of time or whatever it is, and then resolve it in a time frame that doesn't give you that anxiety.
If you do not get a job, what are you gonna do? Because it's very easy to sit here and tell people just talk about it, and we know in the practical aspect it doesn't work that way.
The thing is, if you don't have a job, ultimately, if you're living in the Netherlands, ultimately there is a support system.
And if you're not documented.
Okay, now we're going into areas that, listen, at some stage I was not documented. At some stage in my living in the Netherlands, I wasn't. And if you're not documented, ultimately you're also not worried about certain type of bills because they don't reflect to you.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Once you get documented, then these type of bills start coming your way. So there are different ways and different levels. But with the issue of anxiety, I mean, we all deal with it differently. For me, for example, when I'm approaching that level of I would say, feeling, what I'd say to myself is, let me, go to the sports center or something. I just go and lay down and get a sports massage, and then I feel okay again, and then I'm able to reflect again. But everybody is different.
Yeah. Everybody deals with it in a different way.
Exactly. Everybody is different. I mean, for me, this works for me. When I'm able to calm myself down, I can reflect better. So if I'm crowded in my mind with so many different things, then I need to ask myself, hey, it's time to pause. Some people will go to yoga, and they'll do yoga, and it helps calm them down, and they can reflect on whatever the issue is differently. So I'm only talking about what works for me.
You. Yeah. Exactly.
I can't talk about what works for X, B, or C.
Or you go for prayer.
Exactly. Exactly.
In church.
Exactly.
In church,
Because in church, you go to the church, you mix with a lot of people. You talk, and have fun, laugh. And if there is the pressure is so much, you contact your pastor. Then you talk with your pastor to give you some encouragement or to direct you. Then I think if you go this way or that way, it can help you. So let's do it. Then she or he will also support you with prayer.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm not a Christian, though, but I just want to be very practical. At the end of the day, whatever your issues are, if they are, like Madame said, if they are that practical, and you also looking for practical solutions, then, to be honest with you, prayer doesn't do it. And I'm not saying that prayer is not good, but I'm just being realistic. That's the
like
thing.
Even the Bible says we have to work.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
like the built-in you are saying that if you are you have your everything, you are documented everything, the bills come.
Correct.
So you have other supports too. So if you can't pay this one, you call them, or you couldn't pay it, you call them. That is what I know. That you call them, you negotiate with them. Then they break it into pieces for you.
Correct.
Then that one, at least you know that you are.
You get some breathing space.
Yeah, you get some breathing space.
That's where prayer comes in. That's where prayer comes in, because when you pray, you are influencing things from the spiritual to the physical. Because before anything takes place, it happens first in the spirit, and it manifests in the physical. So if they are going to make the decision to come and want to inject you from your home, they will think about it. So they are thinking about it while you are praying about it. You meet up with them in the spirit, and then you begin to talk to God. And this you're not able to do now. You are believing God that He will talk to this. He will hold forth this thing for a while when you are able to do it. So let Him divert the attention. Let God divert the attention from you for that moment or for that week.
Anything this is the understanding I'm getting, correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying that anything that happens in the physical has already taken place in the spiritual. This is what you just said.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Mm.
So I was born spiritually before I was born physically. I'm just trying to understand because I don't know the Bible very well. So maybe you guys can waking me up onto that for me to understand what it is that you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think that some of these things, because of the practical nature of it, you need to basically face it practically head
Yeah.
on. So therefore, prayer can take a second seat. Basically, that's what I'm trying to
That's
say.
to you.
here.
That's
no,
to you.
No. It's not so much to me, but it's so much to the generic understanding of. It's not everybody who is spiritual or religious.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So if it's a practical challenge,
Issue.
yeah,
Because-
it needs to be handled practically. This
All
is
right,
just
so
how I look at it.
is it correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have a practical problem, like you have a debt, for example, you say, what I think what you're saying is you can't only pray on that, you need to face it practically.
Yeah.
But you can do both,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the understanding.
Yeah.
Right. You
Right.
need to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just only pray, or you can,
Or sit and
or
be-
if
do the
you
practical.
are religious, you need to pray on it as
Yeah.
well.
Correct.
But basically, what I think what I heard is that there's different way of dealing with the anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting. We heard talking to your pastor or talking to someone you trust
Yeah.
about your issues.
Yeah.
And share them with him. By
Yeah.
sharing with them, you're not bearing them alone.
Yeah.
Right.
You're bearing them together. So
Yeah.
this is something we can. This is very practical.
Yeah.
Right.
You can pray on them as
Yeah.
long as you do
Yeah.
the
The
actual
practical
thing,
aspect.
the
Right.
practical
Right.
aspect as well. And you said, for me, it's going to the gym, get a massage, or for some people, yoga. So I think what it is that you need to find out what gives you peace,
Correct.
and do that when you feel you're getting anxiety or you feel like you're getting worked up. And I think the recognizing that feeling, that is the thing that is sometimes is difficult. So this is something you need to learn and reflect on. And most of the time, what I see is for a lot of young people, that's why we get a lot of burnouts. It's that people recognize them afterwards. So they went on high stress level, and they went
Right.
up and up and up, and they
Yeah.
went overboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they got a burnout.
Yeah.
Then they sit at home, feeling very gloomy and not
Right.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's not too late. You can recover from that. But
Yeah.
it would be better if you just reflect and take a
chill
a chill when it's actually happening.
Yeah.
So you feel your heart rate going up, or you feel something is happening. But you need to reflect on that to recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. And then you need to find out what works for you.
Correct. I would say yes, but I also say that from our settings, and when I say our settings, the African setting, it's sometimes a bit difficult for us to do that self-evaluation.
Yeah.
Sometimes
How come?
I really don't know. Maybe based on how we are configured, we would rather see it on someone else than see it on ourselves. It's just the truth. I don't think any of you would
Yeah.
deny that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for a fact that we would
It's true.
we would be able to point that finger
Yeah.
and
I
forget to point at ourselves.
I think that's only you. We like the point.
Yes.
I know, but the thing is, the moment you turn the way you think and then you start looking at yourself,
Yeah.
that is when the reflection begins.
Yeah.
And I think we should encourage more people around us
Yeah.
to start reflecting on themselves when it
Yeah.
comes to health.
Yeah.
And that perhaps will be the turning point or the change for some people.
Yeah, I think so.
Do so I saw you
True.
nodding and actually reacting to this issue of having difficulty to reflect and look at yourself and how you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what the reason is that it is difficult for people to do that?
To reflect on themselves.
To reflect on themselves and the situation they are in.
Well, then maybe it could be that they have no time. It
Yeah,
could be that they
because-
have no. I mean, their the environment is too busy for
To
them.
be harsh, time is most of the time an excuse for something not to do it. So
Yeah, you know,
there's always
Plain
some
and
time.
simple, we are a lot of us are in denial, myself included. Okay, so I'm not ruling myself out of that. A lot of us are in denial, and that is just the plain truth.
Yeah.
So
Denial of.
Of what? Then? What are we denying?
Self-denial.
thank you of who we truly are. We
Yeah.
are not telling the next person who we really are.
Okay.
Even not the next person, you yourself,
No,
you
but-
sit down,
but because
you
you-
reflect on whom am I?
Exactly.
What am I doing? What am I here for? What should I do? Or how can I do this and that? So we have to, you sit down alone, don't just, sometimes you just, maybe you walk around, maybe you go into the house populous bush there, you walk alone just to reflect on yourself and find out,
To think about
yeah,
who
to
you
think,
are.
yeah,
Exactly.
what really,
Yeah.
God, what did you bring me here to do? What
Yeah.
am I going to do?
Yeah.
How should I do this? Or maybe you are thinking of something to do. Then you say, but how can I do this? You are trying to figure out things, or your work, or anytime you go, they criticize you, or even friends around you, anything you do, they criticize you. Then, am I not doing things well? What am I doing wrong? Where did I go wrong? Then you go, you reflect,
Yeah,
and you
that's the
start
good
your
point.
inner man.
I think.
And
Yeah.
and sometimes also, we have to make ourselves happy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
We have to make ourselves happy. Not
Yeah.
every time we have to stay home to cook.
no,
Sometimes you can go out with friends, go to restaurant and eat and make yourself happy.
yeah,
good.
talk.
But it seems like in our society, in some of the black communities, some only cooking. The husband don't, yeah. We don't go out to make ourselves happy, to go to restaurant, to eat. Only we have to stay home and to cook. And some men also don't want to take their wife and children out.
Ouch.
We have to go to make ourselves happy.
Yeah.
Staying home and eating and thinking, if you eat finish, then you go and sleep. No. Make yourself, like this week, me and my cousin, we are going to restaurant to eat,
Good.
to make ourselves happy.
Yeah,
So that is the problem in our community.
The reason
Yeah.
is because of poverty. Because it's not just that they are doing that thing for nothing. It's because of poverty. If you want to live the way of this culture demands, they have nobody who is asking them for money. They have nobody who is asking them, have you built your own house? Everybody's renting a house, and if you don't rent, you have enough money to buy a house from Rochdale, then you can buy, and then you are paying gradually. But from where we are coming from, there's no facility like that. Nobody's building a house and asking you to come and take and be paying little by little. So everybody's just looking onto you for one thing or the other. So that's why the people, they've not been able even to have enough to eat for themselves, talk less of going to restaurant.
All right.
Yeah.
So, but basically, what I think is what you're saying is, well, the restaurant was an example, but I think the more important message is that you sometimes, because we have very busy lives and we do a lot of things. For example, cooking, taking care of the children, bringing them to school, work, and I think what I take away from your message is you need to take a moment to do something that also something that you makes you happy.
Yes.
And you invest
Yeah.
time in each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether it's in a restaurant or you
Yeah,
just go
everywhere.
or,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
do something else that makes you happy.
Yeah.
And actually, I think there's two messages. One is doing something that makes you happy once in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And two is doing it with the ones you love and invest in that relationship as
Yeah.
well, because that is something that's really important.
Yes.
And the other thing, I think what you highlighted as well was what I thought was really interesting is that you said, well, you need a purpose and you need to reflect on that as well.
yeah,
And I think that is something that is also really coming from that same model
yeah.
is something that is really important as well. Knowing that, well, I'm here to do something.
Right.
It doesn't matter what,
Yeah.
but and it doesn't matter that you don't know sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is good to reflect on it sometimes.
Yeah.
Am I really doing what makes me happy?
Yeah.
And am I doing what am I feeling like I'm fulfilling a certain purpose. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's in God's ways or in practical ways,
Yeah.
or it doesn't matter. But I think that something is really important, because if you don't have
Yeah.
a purpose, sometimes you can feel a little bit steerless.
Yeah.
Steerless,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
call it? So those aspects of what you said is really in the model and in healthy lifestyle are really interesting aspects.
Yeah,
I'm so
because-
happy you're all here. Couldn't have done it better without you. I don't know what to do without you.
Yeah. I want to say something about the poverty mentality. My dad asked whether it's because we have to take care of people and build a house and all those things. That's why we have to eat. Like, we have to economize so much that we cannot entertain ourselves.
Yes.
I think it is the mindset. We have to change our thinking.
That's
Even if
right.
you have you're on the most basic salary, you still can find time to do good things. For example,
Yes.
the community has all kinds of options, recreational options for people
Yeah.
who don't earn too much. You know what I'm saying? They can go to the zoo for free. They can go to certain expositions and entertainment places for free or for nothing,
Yeah.
or for very little.
Yeah.
So if somebody makes the excuse that because I earn little, I
That's
would
right.
not give myself a treat, they're only killing themselves, I think.
That one is
That's a
true.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a
let
good
me
point.
tell
But,
you.
but with most of us, we are not even aware that the community has these type of facilities. So then you understand that there is a disconnect between what is available and how that information translates also to people within the community.
Yeah.
And you ask yourself, what can you do different?
And one thing too,
to
we
be
don't ask
aware of
questions.
it? My point.
We don't
My
ask
point.
questions.
Yeah.
Maybe you are talking with someone, the person is saying something, especially concerning the social aspects,
Yeah.
with the community and all those things. They go there, or they meet people, they meet with their social social workers and all those things, but they don't ask questions. They are afraid to ask questions.
How
You know.
How come? I think this is because I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have an idea what the reason is that people are reluctant to ask questions?
Because of the language.
You can speak English. They have most of the Dutch people.
We're using these things only as a smoke screen just to cover the truth.
Yeah.
You see, we have a certain mentality, and we are so narrow and focused on our goal to save money and to build a house and to do this and to do that, that we exclude all other options.
Yeah.
That really, I think, is what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not that we are so poor that we can't have a creation or entertain ourselves. The focus is so narrow that everything else doesn't matter. You see? So even if, listen, one day I gave to somebody. I was supposed to go on an excursion somewhere, but something came out, I had to travel. So I gave the coupon to somebody to go and entertain himself. He said, no, I can't go. I'm too busy.
Oh.
So what he got for free, what I paid for, and I gave to the person for free.
He refused.
Wow.
He didn't use it. So the mindset to even entertain ourselves is not there.
Yeah.
So even if you are offered for free, that like it's available here, you can get certain things almost for free or for nothing. People still won't take it.
Yeah.
So it's not a language. It's not.
No, I don't think
It's not a language. It's
No,
not,
No.
It's
But
not
like
that we don't
for
know,
me,
We're not brought
but
up that
their whole
way.
perspective
We're not
is
brought up that
so constricted
yeah.
that they are not interested. That's my take.
I would say that
Yeah.
we
We
have
were not
this.
brought up that way. That's the reason.
It's a
But
generation.
still,
we have
It's a
to learn it.
generational
Shouldn't have
thing.
to, yeah.
Then
It
we
is a
have to-
generational
we have
thing
to
because
learn it.
the
We have to.
Yeah.
fifth or fourth or fifth generation of migrants that live here today, they ask questions.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what she said, that we were not brought up that way. So the older generation were not brought up that way, so they don't ask questions. But the
And they don't
generation
enjoy themselves.
coming, exactly. So the generation coming now, they are, I would say, they are an upgraded version of who we are.
That's why.
And what? Sorry.
That's why the youth don't want to copy us.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their life
Exactly.
is different. They are making
Exactly.
themselves happy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They travel. They go to holiday.
Exactly.
They go to.
Yeah.
They don't want to copy us.
Exactly.
So then we are boring.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah. Me
No,
sometimes.
but we
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
need to
me sometimes at home, if I sometimes if I'm feeling boring, I just go out. Say, no, I don't know here. Most of the cities, I go alone.
That's all. That's good.
Yeah,
That
I
is
just
very good.
go to the trains. I have my cotton card there.
Very
So
good.
I go and buy tickets. I top up. And if I know that the money is not, I top up. I said, last time I said, I don't know Apple.
Oh,
I took my train.
that is good.
I went.
That's a
And
good
go,
tip.
went
That's a
around.
good tip. That's a
And
very
yeah,
good
I came back. I went to Nijmegen. All those places, those cities. So one by one,
Lovely.
I'm going there one by one, just all alone, just go
Make
and
sure
walk
when you-
around.
Make sure
Yeah.
when you go, you buy a
Yeah.
postcard from these places.
Yeah,
We can make a documentary with you.
yeah. You know, so you just go out, you reflect yourself.
It's good.
My niece is in Dordrecht. Anytime I'm feeling, I go there. I go to Dordrecht. Weekends, I go to Dordrecht. We go out, we go and walk and all those things. When you come back, you are refreshed.
All right, so you take the time off.
Yeah.
A mini vacation.
Yeah,
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
At least you're doing something you're happy.
yeah.
doing.
Me, I like traveling mostly,
That's good.
so I just go out.
How do we change? Look, because
Changes.
if we're talking about people's lifestyle depreciating, we have established the fact that it's not just about the food
Yeah.
that we're eating,
Yeah.
but other things as well which affect our health.
Yeah.
How do we promote recreation as a part of enjoying a healthy lifestyle
Yeah.
among our people?
Among
So
our
this is
people.
the question to the panel now.
Okay.
Like for example, the
Sure.
churches can organize.
Oh.
Like my former church, we went to Zeeland, where they treat the water, or they divide the water not to overflow the country or and all those things. Yeah, we went there.
Right.
They show us all the videos, the dolphins.
The
We
way
went
you
there
can, yeah.
to swim in the pool with the dolphins and all those things. You know, then you go out there. Then for the people to explore, to see other things.
Yeah.
We went on the sea. They took us in the boat. We went and crossed and came back. You know, then you know what. So you see the panels or what that they put under the sea to block the
Oh,
sea.
the
To
dice,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the dice. Yeah, you see them, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you can see how technology is being used.
Yeah.
To
Yeah. Then you are what?
yeah.
You know more. You learn more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are also sitting, someone is talking, then you can also say something.
Yeah.
But when we sit down from work, we buy our beers or drinks and drink in the house, booze and sleep.
Yeah.
Right. So you could, by doing things together, you can
Yeah,
actually be curious about
Yeah.
different things and
Yeah.
learn more
Yeah.
instead of only focusing on
Yeah.
earning money.
yeah. So the churches
Yeah.
and other organizations, the NGOs, they can organize those things, excursions. Like I know some people do it. Then they go out. The people go out. They go to Belgium, Germany, and all those and do shoppings and come back.
I think that in as much as this is a great,
Yeah.
point, I think the question was trying to figure out how do we then translate the knowledge of what we know
Yeah.
people should be doing
Yeah.
and delivering it. So the delivery point is what is important.
Yeah,
And I like the fact that you talked about the churches.
yeah,
But you see, the thing is, the churches will organize their own thing. Literally, what that also means is that if I don't attend that particular church, then I'm left out of that.
no. Like ours.
No, may I finish?
Yeah,
I'm saying what I'm saying to say
Yeah.
that indeed the churches would play an important role
yeah,
in also talking about these things,
yeah,
so that they can empower the congregation for
Yeah.
them to also do something for themselves,
Yeah.
even if it is not the church organizing
Organize,
it.
yeah.
Do you get it? We have community radio stations. A lot
Yeah.
of them are spread around the Amsterdam Southeast area. And if these radio stations understand the need for them to also put this type of message out there, so the listeners can also become aware of it.
Yeah.
These are some of the practical things we can also do to empower people within the
Those
community.
running the station,
yeah.
Mhm.
do enjoy this, and they will definitely talk about it. But if they don't do it themselves, they cannot share
Share it,
with the
yeah.
public.
It's true.
So they themselves have to be delivered from a boring life.
How about you?
Well, I hear you loud and clear on that one. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
that's I think.
Yeah.
So actually, I've heard a lot I've been well informed, particularly about some misconceptions that we have. I live in Ghana, and a lot of times the conception that we have of a healthy lifestyle is purely things that are related to health, food, like food and things that we eat. And I think the point he raised about like the mental aspect, and she also mentioned a spiritual aspect. So I kind of get a concept that when we talk about practical health or health lifestyle, we're referring not just to what we eat, but it's a comprehensive package, which includes the mental aspect, the health, what we eat, as well as where some people want to put maybe the spiritual and the mental together. Yes. So I think that to come to the question as to how do we promote that message, like you rightly indicated, I think it starts first of all with sensitization, and sensitization to, in Africa, for instance, like you said, we also have a lot of community radio. So those are the means by which people actually get to be informed about things that actually ought to be done. So there's that misconception that food and all that. So you see people try to cut down on certain type of foods, forgetting also that there's aspect of stress. If you are stressed mentally, and there are things that are actually not right, you could equally be in a situation which you are trying to avoid by the foods that you are trying to avoid. So personally for me, it's been an enlightening one to know that we have several aspects that we need to concentrate on. So I think the message just needs to be spread out, so that misconception is taken out. So through churches, through, I think generally through means where of social gathering, you could spread the message and become more effective.
Yes. Use that time to talk about healthy lifestyle.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much. So before we round up, there's this notion that many people living in Southeast are very lonely, so they are very lonely. So loneliness is an indication of bad healthy lifestyle. Is it not? Loneliness. How do we overcome loneliness now?
You go on Tinder. No, I'm joking. It is a joke. Hey, someone has a joke. Come on. Good. I'm glad everyone is happy.
The loneliness is actually it's quite a difficult problem.
It is.
And I think the misconception of loneliness is that it's, for example, when people are lonely, it would be very easy to say, well, we need to give him someone to talk with, and sometimes that helps, but most of a lot of times it's also a feeling from deep within, and you can be talking to someone but still be lonely. So it is. I think it's about how the skill of communication, exactly, and really make a connection, and be able to, because sometimes we're reluctant to share like very intimate things from each other, from yourself. And I myself are the same. But sometimes that can make you a little bit lonely. But once you share it with someone you trust, you might as well recognize that he's going or she's going through the same thing. Or, for example, my wife was very ill during a period of time, and then once she had severe panic attacks. And I had really heavy duty because we had kids. They were just born, so it was quite a heavy situation. And I thought, well, I'm really alone in this. I don't know. This is. And then once I shared something about this, what my wife is enduring, and I'm having a really hard time with it, I recognized that so many people actually were going through similar things or had similar things or knew someone that had similar. So it's also, and you can feel really lonely about this. So loneliness is really, it's really complex.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I don't know the solution right now, but it can be. I would like to say, because I think we're ending the session,
Yeah,
right?
we are ending it.
I would like to say something, because we have covered several things, and like poverty and debts, and also parenting, and how generations differ in
Yeah.
how they ask questions and how they react, which can cause difficulty in parenting as well. So we have a lot of organizations that actually can help you with this. So we have the Majesty that helps you with debts and financial issues.
Yeah.
And we have the OKT and the parenting team. I don't know about that. Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the parenting team. They have like a parenting expert that
Yeah.
can give you advice and talk with you about the issues you have with your child. And there's in every school there's one, so you can ask about that. And every neighborhood has one. So like you have a lot of things like we talked about with the Stadspas, where you can go for free to do fun things when you have a certain income. So there's a lot of different things, and I think it's really important that that you discuss this on your radio and your television, and that you discuss this in your church. So I'm really glad, because I think this is the start. When you ask me, how do you change this? I think this is the way. You ask and you discuss it amongst each other. I think I thought the dialogue today is what really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this is the dialogue needs to like continue. And I think that's the major way to change this.
Yes.
Can I come in about loneliness? Like when we talk about loneliness, like I live alone, but I'm very happy.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. I read my Bible, I pray, I dance in my house. So I don't stay home to think, because I know I have the Holy Spirit with me, and I have God also. So I don't think. Moment you are home, you start thinking about negative things or things. That is where the loneliness comes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I make myself happy,
All right.
because when you have God, you have everything.
Yeah.
So that is the problem why people are facing loneliness, because they don't have time also for God. In the house, they go to church only to pray and to dance. But in the home, they are only sitting there and thinking. And for me, I don't have that problem. So I thank God for that. Yeah.
That's good. And I think that's why what you're saying is really relevant, is that you might be alone, but you're not lonely. It doesn't mean you're lonely.
Yeah.
I think that's a really important
Yeah.
message.
That one is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because moment you are home, when you start thinking, the devil will bring some thought. Oh, you don't know that you are lonely. You are lonely. Nobody is home, and you start thinking about different things, negative things, and everything. But when you are home, start to thinking about good things. Start to think about God. Start to think about good things.
The way you are
Everything
blessed.
Yeah, then you are blessed. So I'm okay. I thank God.
Amen.
Well, on this note, we are bringing closure to this very topic, practical perspective on healthy lifestyle, assisted by professional. You can see that we have done justice to this, and we think we love what we did.
Yes.
Do we love what we did?
Yes.
So
That's
that
great.
means
Yeah.
we're a very good team.
Yes.
So we look forward to meeting you again and having another dialogue on another note. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if you have enjoyed this broadcast, remember you can go to our website, Majesty TV, and download it and play it. But don't give credit to yourself. So when you think it is something you love, just hype us and then give a very positive comment as well. Thank you everyone for being on this show, and we look forward to having more and more. By doing this, we are learning and at the same time impacting others. Isn't
Yes.
it? Thank you so much. So, and also we will avoid loneliness.
Yes.
And find out the properties of bananas.
Very important.
It's bad. There are other fruits too. Not only the bananas.